So there. Okay. So before anything else, of course, since we have participants here in our places, I would like to introduce our speaker for today. Our speaker for today came all the way from India, of course. I would like to read her credentials, but I will not be reading it all because, of course, the 30 minutes will not be possible, will not be enough because I can see her LinkedIn. Wow, very massive credentials. So I have here a head teacher or a principal from Kamla Nehru Public School. Yes.
Right.
Yes, and I love saying this. She's been a principal for nearly a quarter of a century.
Thank you.
And she's a 10 years teacher till date for Kamla Nehru Public School, right?
Right.
Yes, and an MS Physics graduate, and she visited 14 countries already.
Right.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is a lot.
And she's a Microsoft Innovative Educator expert since 2016.
Right.
I've been a Microsoft Innovative Educator expert just last year only.
Miles to go for you then.
Yes, and I'm looking up to you, of course,
Oh, welcome.
because you are also an Innovative Educator Fellow since 2017.
Right.
And of course, a master trainer of the Microsoft. And of course, a lot more of information. Maybe for those who are interested, I can share your LinkedIn profile to them, right?
Right.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you, we have, I'm afraid I cannot pronounce your
It's
name,
Paramjeet.
Paramjeet.
Paramjeet Kaur Dhillon.
Dhillon. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, thank you so much, Paramjeet, for accepting my invitation for this Skype session with you.
Thank you. It's a privilege and honor to talk to so many of you today.
Yes. Actually, our webcast has attendees of like about 200 teachers here in our community.
That's wonderful.
Yes, and this is our first time to invite a speaker, international speaker, of course, from India. And thank you so much for being our first speaker from other country.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. So we're done discussing, of course, with communication in the 21st century because that's our topic now. And I have given this to you ahead of time. I mean, the topic.
Yes.
It's the 21st, the communication of the 21st century. So the first query is this, or I mean, the first question is this. So let me just double check. So we have discussed the two types of communication. Of course, we need to discuss the different types of communication, which is the verbal and non-verbal. And it turned out that in the 21st century, text-based is taking a big chunk in the pie already, and that's because of ICT, right? And that's because of technology.
Yes.
Non-verbal or the text-based is really important now because our learners are actually looking at information in the website, in the different articles, something like that. So text-based is really important now in the 21st century. Now, my question is, what are the activities that you are doing, or what are the things that you are doing in your school to control the information that your students or that your learners are getting? Because of course we have different information, like we cannot say that those information are true, those are information are maybe false, something like that. So what are the activities you're doing in your school to control those information?
See, one of the most important activity which we had done recently was SKYPE. See, you read something on the web and you take it for granted it is, but what we did was we actually made the children visit all these countries. the children visited, we had a 48-hour Skype-a-thon in our school.
Wow.
Day and night. It was so exciting, you know. It was a marvelous experience for the children. So we visited 31 countries and we had 265 Skype sessions at a go.
Wow.
So, yeah, we did it.
So how many countries? How many countries do you have conducted?
31 countries and 265 Skype sessions. So during this the day when the school was functioning, all the children were there. But when it came to evening, we had some selected groups who would come, and we had already, you know, you send first of all a request. So all these sessions are pre-planned, and all my 100-odd staff members were occupied and involved. So you can imagine the communication which happened, the true communication, you know, sharing culture, some dances, right, some food, how to cook a particular food in India, and maybe and some of our children were dressed up in our own attire, in the Indian attire, and they were dancing and showing. So it was such a great experience and a great means of communication which we had. So that was one thing. And then
Yeah. Also, basically, you are getting those information firsthand from those, of course, from those learners from other part of the countries or other part of the world, right?
Right. And then see, Russia, we could see the dance. It was so nice to see the dance. And since, you know, the advantage of having 48 hours was that countries which are ahead of you more than 12 hours, even you could contact them. Otherwise, at night, you could never Skype with them. We could never Skype properly with Canada because the school time was not there, the children were not there. We could never Skype with USA. But when we were there for the entire 48 hours, a great experience.
Wow. So so you have participated a lot during this Skype-a-thon. Oh, Paramjeet, for those who don't know, or some of our viewers might not know about the Skype-a-thon, what is a Skype-a-thon all about?
Skype-a-thon is what's happening between you and me right now.
Yeah, that's right.
That's Skype. And when the Skype runs for a longer duration, we call it Skype-a-thon. It's just like running, and then it's a marathon.
That's right.
That's
and
it.
just like what you said, right? You have conducted for 48 hours, you said?
48 hours, continuous, non-stop.
Non-stop, wow.
And then it was going simultaneously in many classes together. You would have, 10 classes having a Skype session with some other class at the same time. And the amount of confidence building, the amount of communication, no fears of being evaluated when you're speaking in English. The children have really, really improved in their communication skills when it comes to Skype and Skype.
And as well as they are actually doing some collaboration with other students in the different part of the world, right?
Yeah, we have participated in plenty of international projects also, right? That also helps, and that's a real example of 21st century communication skills. We participate in KNPS Climate Action Project, Innovation Project. We had this SDG Kids Avenger Project. Now all this have different countries. We had How Do You Sing to Love? Again, another project where we talked about gender equality.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting. And then, through this communication between you and me, I invite all you 200 participants. They can communicate with my teachers and they can communicate with my classes, and we can have Skype sessions with everybody if they so desire to have that experience. All right. And then we as teachers go for plenty of webinars, for podcast also. And this is another means of communication. And then we are also, when it comes to teachers, we are on Twitter in a big way. 95% teachers are on Twitter.
Wow.
What they do in the classroom, they share it and say, look at my child, how he speaks. And the child is speaking something. Right? So the parents are on Twitter, my teachers are on Twitter, of course, and some students have taken Twitter as their international project, and they are also on Twitter. So they normally like what the teachers say, sometimes their own peace of mind also, but Twitter is one thing where we do a wonderful job. And then, on 18th, we had a tweet meet. I had all my teachers participating, And the tweet meet was on global collaboration, exactly what's happening right now. And then it was started by, it was an initiation by Meenakshi Oberoi, and they are de-pedagogists, and they are partners to Microsoft. So they are in Delhi, the capital. We are in a village. Our school is in a village, and we are doing all this. God's grace.
Wow. Well, it's good that you have mentioned about Twitter, because here in the Philippines, and specifically in our community, they do not actually they don't find Twitter as a platform, as a good platform for education. But it's actually showing that in your place, you are using Twitter as a platform to foster a more, what do you call that, collaboration, or to foster a good communication amongst your students, plus the parents as well, right?
Yeah, we do that. And then the children, when they're participating in any international project, they're tweeting about it.
Wow.
And then you can even write a poem, the group activity, everybody writes one line, the next group writes the next line, and we have a stanza. We do that also.
Wow, that's great. So see, teachers, you can actually utilize Twitter as a platform for your classroom. Look at people from India; they're actually using Twitter as a platform to foster a more collaborative educational activities, right?
Right.
Yes.
And then apart from all this, Microsoft has been a great support. It's holding our hands when it comes to education. So many Microsoft tools, it helps us to communicate and collaborate in a big way.
Right.
21st century.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Flipgrid is such a wonderful thing,
We haven't explored Flipgrid here in our place.
What we do, we can have an online session of Flipgrid with your teachers one day. And I have shared a Flipgrid link with you, and the teachers can, just click it, open it up, and it's a maximum 1.5 minute. They can just say, I am so and so from Philippines, and this is my experience about the session, or what do they feel like. So that will be the first time using it, and because you just have to speak in front of it, your voice would be recorded. Put your mobile in front of you and do it. And later on, they will be using it, because we give a voice to the students. The lesson is over, children use Flipgrid and they say, oh, I understood it, but I think this could have been like this. The teachers, they also use Flipgrid. We had a workshop, I had a workshop for my teachers, effectiveness of evaluating teacher effectiveness. Everybody after the workshop, they were on Flipgrid, and we had prepared a grid, and they gave the experience. So I felt this, I feel, yes, evaluation should be there. So we share all these things.
Wow, thank you so much. For those who don't know, since Flipgrid is actually new to us, Flipgrid is just like an application which provides you expressing yourself in a short video, right?
Yeah, very short video. It could be just 10 seconds also.
It works like Snapchat and the other platform that provides short videos.
Yes, very short videos.
Very
fabulous. Once you do it, you love it. It's very popular. And then we have this OneNote, class note book and OneNote book, which the teachers and students use in the classroom, again, communicating what you have learned and what you would like to learn and what's your project all about. And then apart from this, you also have this for inclusive education. We have this tool, Immersive Reader, where a child can, we need to explore all these, where a child can just listen what is there on the screen if you opt for it. And then you don't like the voice, you can get the voice change. You want that this reader is the person who's reading for you need to read very, very slowly. We can adjust that. So it helps in improving the communication. It helps in the learning in the classroom. It helps in children who cannot read properly. For them also, this immersive reader is good. So Microsoft has been a blessing for this village school with first generation learners. So we actually use it in all these tools in a big way in our school.
It's really obvious that you are maximizing the Microsoft product in your school, Paramjeet.
Oh, we are a Microsoft Showcase school. That's another
Wow,
factor. Yeah,
congratulations.
we are. We are a Microsoft Showcase school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Will you be
and the latest communication tools of the 21st century is Teams, which is marvelous with
yeah,
different channels, different so many areas where you can communicate. You can communicate directly, organize a meeting on the spot, take time, everything. It's marvelous too.
it's actually the newest product of Microsoft where it's a combination of the different applications, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Collaborate real time.
So when it comes to the classroom, we always make it a point that student voice need to be heard. Students are it's their future, and future is the place where they're going to spend the rest of their lives. We have to prepare them for an unknown world, for unknown jobs, and all those things. So communication becomes the top priority. You have so many things in your head and heart, but if we can't communicate and let the person in front of me or my group know about it, then what is my education? It's a maybe not a futile, maybe it's a futile attempt. Communication added, it's a success story. All right. So we are preparing them, and so the student talk time in class is a little more. Teacher talk time, we try to emphasize that, let the children do a little more talking. So we have adopted a pedagogy which advocates this in a big way. Right now, I've been talking.
I'm actually amazed by the things that you're doing in your school, Paramjeet. And
Oh,
of course,
thank you for virtual tour also one of these days. One thing which is very, very important is the learning marketplace we have in a school. And we are great, advocates of United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals.
yeah, that's my next question actually. So
Okay, ask it.
because I can see in your timeline that you've been an advocate of the SDGs or teaching SDGs. So what are the things or what are the things that you're doing of course, to foster student developmental goal in your school? Because if we want it to be global, of course, we need to adapt globally. And the only way is to anchor ourselves, of course, to the sustainable development goal of the United Nations. So what are the things that you're doing in your school so that our teachers will be inspired as well?
Yeah. Oh, it's leave no one behind is the slogan of United Nations when it comes to 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So all teachers all around the world to join this campaign, and there are 17 goals, right? And 194 countries from around the world, they got together and they signed a memorandum which says that these 17 goals need to be achieved by 2030. Okay, so it's United Nations 2030 agenda, and we are already in 2019, so we don't have much time to left. And these 17 goals are very simple as no hunger, no poverty,
That's right.
quality education, gender equality, climate action, life on land, life underwater, peace, justice, and strong institutions. Inequality amongst people. So these and good health as such, and then clean energy. Their goals are as simple as that. And every goal, there is a tile as such. There are 17 tiles. And if we look into all these tiles, and then you have those colorful template, which is 17 in number, and all these tiles, the colors are taken up. And when the colors are taken up, we have the 17 colors. You know what? The moment anybody enters in my school, we have a massive 25 feet tall wall, which has all the 17 goals. Maybe one fine day, it's a constant reminder to students, to teachers, to parents who are visiting our school, that we are here to build a sustainable world. A world where you and me would be happy. A world there is no disparity. A world there is peace, where we respect each other for what we are. So all these things we are going to do.
Wow. Those
So,
are very
and
inspiring standards.
And you know what? We have mapped our curriculum with the 17 goals. So I could manage to get these goals, and they are a little haphazard. So this is goal number 2. All right. So 10. I have these ready with me, but I didn't arrange them. So this is goal number 6.
You have already. Wow, that's great to know. So you have already integrated SDGs.
Yeah, we have mapped a curriculum, and then comes goal number 11. All right, and then I talked about goal number 15, and here it's life on land.
Yeah.
All right. Then comes good health. Okay? And then this is industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Goal number 9. Affordable clean energy is goal number 7. I never miss an opportunity to talk about these goals. It's your responsibility, my responsibility. It is our responsibility to achieve United Nations 2030 agenda. So I have this goal number 12 here. And then, of course, it's 8 and 7, clean energy, climate action as such, and then life below water, that's goal number 14. And then the most important of all goals is goal number 17, partnership. We actually need to partner for all these goals. Goal number 7, goal number 1. For you and me, quality education is the mother goal. If we know these goals and right education, then we are preparing global citizens. And of course, this is that 17 colors ring which is there, the global goals. All right.
That's so
and then what we do is never lose or miss an opportunity. Recently on 19th of January, we had 25 beauty pageants walking in a school. And that. And there was one lady from Philippines also.
Wow.
Maybe I'll share. You must visit my school website and look into it. And they planted the 25 saplings in my school. Right? And what were we doing? We were practicing sustainable development goals. We were practicing life on land. We were talking about reduce inequality. We had everybody coming to our school. And, we were practicing global citizenship. And we went live at that particular time. And all these ladies, they encouraged my children, what are these SDGs and why we should be working. So we do these small little things, and
I'm really amazed by the things that you're doing in your school because, of course, some of our viewers are actually principal as well, and there are school heads, and of course they will be inspired by the things that you have done so far, integrating SDG in your curriculum. So you have mapped your curriculum and integrated SDGs. Those are amazing, actually, Paramjeet. Thank you so much for sharing.
It's when I get a motivation from fellow teachers.
Yes.
I pass it on this enthusiasm to my teachers and my children, and then we move ahead. That's it. My children, they are first generation learners. The parents have gone for greener pastures to different countries. They have stars in their eyes. They have dreams in their eyes. And if we won't let them their dreams be realized, who would do that?
Wow. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, I think we have discussed enough, and thank you so much for your time. Again, our session will be aired live in the webcast that we have here in our community. And then for those who don't have internet connection, the recording for this session will be given to them, and then it will be played in their school as well.
Oh, that's so good. So maybe you can tell them to record the voices in the flip grid, and they can just share it on that flip grid. I'll always be automatically be able to see. So when you download the flip grid on your phones or wherever you want to on your laptops, then you have to give a code, and the code I've shared with you.
Yeah. Maybe before our session, I will show them, or I will demonstrate to them how flip grid works first.
That'll be marvelous.
and then they will of course do the Flipgrid video with the link that you have given to me.
Yes.
Again, Paramjeet, thank you so much. It
Thank
has
you,
been
John. Thank
fun with
you.
you. And of course,
And
we have
thanks to
learned.
Microsoft for this opportunity.
Yes, thank you so much for Microsoft, of course, for this opportunity and for the applications that they are given to us educators for free, right?
Right. Yeah, that's true.
So again, thank you so much, and bye bye. God bless.
Have a great day. Thank
Have a
you.
great day as
More
well.
love and namaste from India.
Oh, mabuhay from the Philippines.
Okay, okay, bye. Okay, Alan, bye. Thank you.
Thank you.